And welcome back. Our final segment this morning promises to be a very interesting and unique one as we celebrate the Creole culture. Now, that being said, we have with us the chairman of Gales Point Village, none other than Jason Alshaft. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for having us.
Not a problem at all. To your left is Denica Bowen. She is a resident of Gales Point.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Hi.
Denica. And of course, to my right is Kenneth Welch. He's a pastor, but he's also the community advisor for the village of Gales Point. Good morning, my brother.
Good
sir.
morning.
Good morning.
And the professional drummer and drum maker himself, none other than Emmett Young, is here with us as well. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, guys.
Great morning. Great morning. Yeah.
Let's begin, first of all, by talking about the rich Creole culture in Gales Point Village and how you guys have been able to preserve these elements of the culture, the music, the dance, and the overall vibe, the energy of being the people who you guys are. Let's start from your end, Emmett. Let's get an understanding of what it's been like growing up Creole in Gales Point.
It's been a blessing to grow up in a Creole village and grow up around the old people, because most of my friends was always the old people to give me advice. So that's how I learned to do the drumming and make the drums from the old guy named Irvin Vernon in the village.
How have you been able to pass that on to the younger generation, either the drumming or the drum making?
Well, my ancestors originated from West Africa, and I come from a line of griot. In Africa we are called Jeliba. So we don't write. The information passed down from generation to generation. So I learned from the grandfather and my dad, and now I am passing down to the young people, because I have a drum school where I teach local and foreigner, like Maroon Creole Drum School.
All right.
Come in, Denica. How do you embrace it and how did you get involved in your Creole culture?
From I was growing up, I always watch and listen, and I learn the song and the dance. And like what Mr. Emmett said, he have a drum school. So I attend the drum school and I learn to make the drums and learn to beat the drums. And I learned from my grandfather a lot about the Creole culture. He also do storytelling and a lot about the Bram. Like if you just watch and learn, and I learned a lot from Mr. Emmett through the drum school, because he have that drum school.
What's your favorite thing about your culture?
My favorite, I would say everything. I just don't have a favorite.
Yeah.
From the food to the dancing to the drumming, everything.
Even the language.
The language. I always dream to be a Creole tour guide.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
I am a tour guide, but I want to give tours about my village and the history about my village, because Gales Point is a jewel. A lot of people don't really know about it.
Yeah.
So this is a good opportunity for them to visit and see the place and see how it is rich in the Creole culture.
Yeah.
And you could learn a lot and see a lot.
Yeah.
Wow. I think especially with the new coastal plain highway, getting there is easier. So you got to work on getting that tour package together for Gales Point.
Yeah.
Let's move over to the chairman of the village. Jason, talk to us about your involvement and how this all came to be in terms of organizing the community for these kinds of cultural events.
Yes, well, so you got to understand that this is a marooned Creole community. This has been going on for nearly 300 plus years. It started from the original slaves that would come down through Runaway Creek, and they found farmland and things like that was close to Gales Point. They even used to do this Bram along the riverside, which we think came all the way back from African days. When later on in history, after slavery was abolished, they kind of moved into the peninsula, where we kept that same tradition of going house to house to house. But because the village was marooned for so many years, it's preserved the culture, which has been a blessing, because the food's the same, the songs are the same, The dance is the same, and even the drums have their own unique sound to Gales Point.
Yeah. I want to get Kenneth in the conversation. Kenny, you are a community advisor. Let's get your input in this overall event.
Well, honestly, what we're trying to do here is to offer the Bram to wider than just the Gales Point community. Christmas, Boxing Day is usually our highlight for the Bram, and there are many people out there who are of Creole descent, who are Creole people, and they've only heard about it, you know, and to a large degree, they might not feel like they're welcome to it, and so we are opening, per se, you know, the event to the entire country. Whoever wants to come, get to see not just Gales Point, but get to see the Creole Bram, how the Creole Bram is done, you know, how this part of our culture and heritage has been preserved and is still being done, you know, and hopefully it can now expand to the other Creole villages that we have in the country.
I know that you guys will be providing us with a treat this morning. We'll be seeing a bit of a demonstration of what we can expect come the 25th and 26th. But I want you guys to use the opportunity to explain what exactly is the Christmas Bram.
That's Emmett's baby. Like we hear you, Emmett.
Well, the Christmas Bram, like we say, been going on for a long time. When they settle along the, as you know, we are runaway slave. They settle along the Manatee River, and the people that used to live along the banks of the river, so they would go. After slavery was abolished, they used to go up into the Mahogany camp, and they would be up there for a long time, sometimes for months, before they come back to their family. So when they come back to their family, this was the only time they get to celebrate, because it was Christmas. They would give them the Christmas Day and Boxing Day to be free. So they would gather the instrument and stuff, and people make food and wine, and they catch their picari and they smoke it over the fire, and then they used to have these huts. So they would go from one house. They start from the beginning of the first house, and they would continue go right up along the river banks to the last house. And the next day they go on the other side of the river banks and come down the other way. And so when they moved to the peninsula, that tradition stayed there. So we would start on the Manatee Point, and then we would end up to the last house in the top of the village, in the Pine Ridge, and then after the Bram, we have a big fire standby. So that's also part of the event. So the Bram is very festive, and traditionally the standby was used for fertility dance when we have to prepare the crops and stuff for good growth and harvest. So now the standby is not anymore done for fertility, so now the youths, the younger one, they can participate, but it's still go on today. You know.
All right. Well, I'll tell you, growing up, Isani, I heard about the Creole Bram around Christmas time, and I'll be honest, I never got the history of it. I knew that it involved a lot of celebration and eating and going to your neighbors and just really enjoying the spirit of togetherness and being around family and friends. But to really see an authentic, almost spiritual experience, I'd say, I think it's one to certainly look forward to. We do have a demonstration to share. I want to ask a bit of the time, the details, the date, time, and place, where exactly we should go.
Well, this start in the village, so we start in the afternoon when everybody don't cook up their meal and have the cake ready. Have the cake ready, so then they start about 2 o'clock and go all into the night.
Oh, wow.
And then when it's finished, then we have the big bonfire with the standby.
Okay. So, yes, Kenny?
No, I wanted to add to what Emmett was saying. The Christmas Bram or the village Bram, it's a great display of unity among the people. You know, it's near impossible for a villager to say that they haven't seen the entire community during that time. Because as Emmett said, in the past we used to go from house to house, literally inside every person's house.
Wow.
You know,
Yes.
from beginning to end. And since it has grown, we call it from yard to yard, because the crowd can no longer fit inside the house.
Wow.
So it displays great unity in the community as
Yeah.
we move along the entire peninsula and just celebrate with everybody.
Danica, I know you have something to share before you go over on the
I
stage.
just want to share what to expect on the 26th of December in Gales
Okay.
Point. We will be having a lot of cultural food.
Okay.
The traditional culture, rice and beans. We will having potato pudding, coconut crust, blackberry wine, bread, Creole bread and bun, tableta, cutterbread, a whole lot of Creole food. So you could take a back a little of the, you know.
Well, yes, man, we are definitely the stop the yard to yard. But as you make your way over to the stage, I have to say, I mean, I'm from Borough Boom, and we pretty village too, but I think that for me, it feels like I'm entering back into what my grandparents would have enjoyed during the Christmas time. So I know that you guys extended an invitation to even persons that are not from Gales Point. So you might just be seeing me, yeah?
Please, yes.
But we'll take the transition now over to our presentation. Now, guys, this is just a little bit of what you can expect come the 26th.
And the breeze go
job.
Guys,
Great
that
job.
was amazing. Thank you so much. This is just some of the things that you can expect. Let's come down a bit. This is just some of the things that you can expect come the 25th and 26th, specifically the 26th over at Gales Point. I love the song Straight Down the Coastal Road and the Rocky Road. Good and Malati. Yes, this is where you should be. And as we wrap up, we will be wrapping up right here. I want to say thank you guys so much for joining us this morning.